Hello everyone, today in this video I'm going to show you how to replace the Digitizer Glass touchscreen on this HP laptop. This laptop is model 15-U473CL. I needed to replace the digitizer because it's cracked. It's a big crack on this corner. So the bezel around, it's in a good shape. It has a crack here, but it's not that bad. It's okay. Now, in order to start this process, so I'm gonna flip it this way. I already bought the digitizer screen by the model from eBay. It came already in this plastic. It was only $50. So there you have it. And we're gonna use this sharp pointy tool to remove these two plastics right here. There's adhesive, two little covers. Underneath there's a screw here in this corner and a screw in this corner. Put it between the gap and lift up this adhesive little plastic just like this and set it aside. Make sure you don't lose it. And same thing do on this side. Just between the gap and lift up and then set it aside. Make sure you don't lose them. Now the next tool we're going to use is a Phillips screwdriver. So we're going to remove these two screws and this one on this corner, and then I'll use my tweezer to remove them. Alright, so the next tool, I have this sharp prying tool. Between the two bezels you'll see there's a little opening, so you're just gonna have to easily insert the prying tool and then just push it a little bit inside until you're gonna hear this clicking sounds. That means the tabs are being unhooked from each other's sides, as you can hear now. And then just slide it over, but carefully, either around that side or around this side, and keep unpopping this. You can also use another plastic one, so you can leave one inserted and then just go around and do the same thing. So don't lift it too much because the cables are connected here on inside, so don't lift it from this side too hard, too high. There you have it. Now you make sure you lift this panel up from the camera, from the top part. You don't want to lift it from this side because here is all the cables and everything, so you don't want to break them or pull them, and you may so you're just gonna lift it up like this. Alright, so if you can see this cable that comes out from the hinge, right? So this is the cable that goes to the touchscreen, and you can see it's very short and it looks like I'm gonna damage it if I don't take it first. So this one you would want to take it out first. So in order to do that, we're just gonna grab it by the handle and I'm gonna just lift it up. It comes very easy out. There you go. Carefully just untake this cable right there. this side, we need to unplug this cable from right there. So just go ahead and unplug this from each other. Now once that side is done, let's go to this side. We need to peel this tape and pull it out. There you go, like this. It comes out very easy. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to trace this cable that also comes from the hinge. This one, trace it and remove it so we can work on the digitizer. So just untape this and then just pull it up around, and there's no screw here, so I would assume I will just use my prying tool to just lift it up. There's an adhesive right here pad that all it holds it attached to this bezel. We disconnected everything. We have our LCD with the digitizer. Now I'm gonna set the rest of the laptop on the side. The next step, we're going to remove, there's 4 screws in the corners that holds the LCD down. So we're gonna remove these ones. Okay, now once you remove the screws, just lift up the LCD by the edges and just take a look at it and see if there is any damage to it, any cracks. But there's no scratches, nothing from the digitizer. My LCD looks very good. Facing down, and put it on the side. You need to make sure you're wording the right LCD, and it's very important how many pins this connector has. Yeah, how many pins and the shape of it. As far as I looked on eBay, everybody was saying make sure the shape right here in the corner is cut. I'll show you once it's all removed. I'm gonna use this sharp one. You just have to flip them up from the middle. There you go, like that, and the other one, so you can see. And then just remove the connector. There you go, and this side. Now when I shopped, this particular seller had the number of the pins listed. So he listed that one side is 1/61 and 32/31, and this one is the same thing, 1/61, 32/31. So the pin number matched with his. Right here there's a LED that lights up this Windows logo right here, this one. So we need to remove that one first. Okay, so there is a tape here that it's taped down. Just remove it like this carefully, and then this one should just come out. If it doesn't come out, make sure you use this prying or something. Oh, it looks like this tape also. Okay, there we go. Let me remove this board. There's no screw, so it should come out, and we're gonna lift. Okay, so there's a little tab right here that it holds it down. Yeah, there's adhesive, and then just remove it up like that. So just set it aside. Also, let's remove this. Alright, so I got my heat gun right here. So I'm gonna flip this on this side, and I'm gonna warm up where I started. There we go, it just comes easy. Comes off very easy. There we have it. So careful with the ribbon. He needs to go between the opening. Okay, so here we have This is the bezel, and this is the digitizer right here. We'll have to heat up and see if I can remove this layer and then attach it on this one. That's one step, and the other step is to remove the entire adhesive around, and I'll use a different adhesive that I have. So I'm gonna use my heat gun to remove all this around. So I'm using the lowest setting in my heat gun right here, the lowest setting. So as you can see, I cleaned the entire bezel. There's no more sticky anything. It's all removed. Now let me go to the digitizer. Also, I'm gonna use the heat gun so I can try to remove this foam. I don't want it to melt, so I'm gonna have to be very careful because I need to use it. So this is what you want to look at, is this ribbons right here. Let me see if I can zoom in. As far as I can look at the similarities, L shape right here, the cutoff of the ribbon is exactly as this one, the original one. This is the original one. This is the one from eBay. And all of these little lines, they're exactly the same. It has the window logo, and then it has this number right here, 15600A-01X, which is the same on both digitizers. And there's another number, and there's another serial number right here, and there's one right here. On the one from eBay, C-1, and this one is C-2. So that's the only difference so far. On the other side, you can clearly see that these numbers, the numbers of the pins, they're exactly the same, but we'll have to install it and see how that will work. I'll use this one, and then I'm just gonna cut out all these openings where it has to be open. So all I'm gonna do is put it right by the edge. there you have it. So we have the glue all around the bezel. Now we're gonna set this bezel on the side. So it's better if we install the digitizer here, and then we're gonna add that foam all the way around. So let's do that. On both sides it has a piece of protective plastic, so just remove the protective plastic from the inside and make sure the glass doesn't have any damage before you install it, because if it has any scratch or crack or anything from the shipping, then you should return it and get a replacement. Alright, now pay attention, this ribbon right here needs to go in this opening. Needs to make sure you bend it a little bit like this, just a little bit, because you see this portion right here, about 3 millimeters or 2, needs to go in between the ribbon and this opening. So just make sure you make some space like this, just a little bit bended, not too hard. And then let's try again. Okay, and this. Okay, so I got this right side all in place. I'm just gonna push it down like that. Now don't let it go, you need to make sure this ribbon, let's see, this ribbon here needs to go inside properly. Okay, that's it. So the ribbon went in that opening. There you go. So the ribbon is in the opening right here. So I'm just gonna use to make, okay, that's it. So it's nicely went. I pulled it out, and the bezel is properly aligned. Okay, now make sure you push all around. That foam that goes around on the digitizer, we're gonna put it right now, because now we have a guidance. We have this bezel attached to the digitizer, so it will be very easy. It will be very easy to just go by this edge of the bezel and just attach them all. So this is how I'm gonna start with, from the right corner, upper corner, all the way in the corner, and then I'll just go by the edge of this. Let me zoom in so I'll explain. So as long as your foam doesn't, as long as the foam doesn't go over this black edge of the digitizer, then it's good. Because if it's go over this black edge, then you'll see it when you install the LCD on top, and then you're gonna turn on your laptop, you'll be able to see the foam. So you don't want to go over this black edge of the digitizer when you apply the foam. So that's another tip you want to keep in mind. Now, before we install the LCD, I think we need to install this. And you just put it like this, and then you get the tape that we removed from, and we put it on top, just like this. The next step, before we put the LCD, we need to clean this digitizer, make sure there's no fingerprints or dust or so on. Clean it really good, wipe it really good. You don't want any fingerprints, because if there will be any, we can just come back before we assemble the laptop back. We can just remove the LCD and clean it again if there will be any spots, and then just blow off and then just place it on quickly. Okay, we're gonna use our 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, to secure it down. Okay, the LCD is attached. We need to install a digitizer board. Alright, now we're gonna make sure the little white flap of this connector is up, and then just use your finger to place this ribbon inside. Right now it's not good, it's sideways. Like this corner is inside, but this one is not inside. So I'm just gonna have to push it a little bit. There we go, now it went in place. Just a little bit I had to push it. Same thing for this one, I had to push it a little bit. It looks like the ribbon is a little bit, even less than a millimeter, not correctly aligned, but that's okay. And then just push the flap. And then as you can see, when I put the flap down to secure the ribbon, you don't see that white line on the ribbon, so that means the connection, it was inserted fully. Now we need to connect the cables, and then we can just see if it turns on. The LCD is working for sure, but we need to make sure the digitizer, the touch screen, is working. This white cable, this one you need to use your both hands. So just do this first. Attach this cable first with both hands like this, because you won't be able to do it with the one hand. And then once you did that, go ahead and install this cable. So you just hold it like this and push it with, you can see it like this. Just hold it like this, and then with this finger you're just gonna push it in the socket. So just align it carefully and then just push it like that until both edges of one connector and the other will be flush, and then just take this back. Yeah, I want to guide this cable first, and let's put first here so the camera will align. Okay, that's done. Now let's go back. Be careful on this side. Now we're gonna focus on attaching the other side. Okay, so we're gonna install this cable right here. The white socket right here. Connector, it goes right there. So you just align it and then push it down. Okay, I'm having a hard time, I don't know why. It's not, okay, there we go. And once it's fully inserted, then you guide this cable where it should go. There's a spot for this connector right here. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a spot where this connector needs to go. There you go. Just like this. Alright, and this cable just goes like that. Like this. That's it. And this. Alright, so now everything is connected. What I forgot to add is from here to here. So I'm gonna unscrew this screw like this. And then I need to lift this up a little bit, and I will get this and put it here. There you go. And it needs to go, so I'm going to put this back. And then this one I need to attach with this. It's adhesive, so just make sure when we're going to put this screw, it's going to go through. Okay, this is number one. And then we have one on the other side. And there you have it, like that. And then another thing that I must put back is this one. This one goes here. Right here. And it goes over this cable. Like so. Like this. And like that. So it keeps this cable in place. And that's it. Looks like I put everything. Now we're gonna close this back. Now when you do this, make sure your cables align here properly. Right here. So the cable, this one, needs to be positioned properly. Okay, so it's good. Alright, now it's good. So just go ahead and go like this all the way around to make sure you hear those clicks like that. That means the bezel is attaching to the other side of it. There you go. And final, we need to add these last two screws. One here. And one on the side. And then we need to add this adhesive here to cover the screws. That's it, there you go. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me turn it on since this is a 360. Come on, don't be slow. That's why I hate hard drives. It's so slow at some points when it's loading, so I need to...
Make your computer easier to use.
Okay, on-screen keyboard. So I need to install an SSD in this laptop because this is too slow. I don't like it. Alright, so I'm gonna type in my password. Come on, type in the password. enter. Okay, so this is supposed to be tablet mode. Okay, let's see how good does it work. Tablet mode on. There you go. Okay, so we have sound. Okay, we have the battery 63%. Okay, paint 3D. Let's see this one. Alright, so far so good. It works, I like it. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you can fix your laptop. If you have any comments, comment down below.